Hello once again, my fellow Star Trek fans. I'd like to welcome you to another Star Trek related video. Now, it's been a little while since I did the pre-order video for the Complete Adventure, the Star Trek the Motion Picture Director's Edition. And they do have the DVD, but I elected to go for the Blu-ray because there was a lot more goodies with the Blu-ray. Well, it finally came in late yesterday afternoon, and I'd like to present to you the Complete Adventure, and this is the Star Trek the Motion Picture, the Director's Edition. See a beautiful illustration of the Enterprise on the front, and you guys the back. Basically, I had shown you the front and back on the pre-order. We've got all three cuts: the film in 4K ultra high definition, including the special longer version. And we've got all kinds of goodies from the time period, newly discovered deleted scenes and footage. I'm looking forward to checking that out. And because, the copyright issues, there's probably no way I'm going to be able to put up video clips for you guys, but I will take stills and try to put up the still shots for you guys. And let's see, the direction of the director Robert Weiss's definitive version, eagerly anticipated by Star Trek fans over 2 decades, now meticulously restored and remastered in 4K Ultra High D with HDR10 and Dolby Vision for optimal picture and Dolby Atmos for immersive sound. This must-have limited collector's edition, A Complete Adventure, exclusively contains 4K Ultra High Definition with the HDR10 as Dolby Vision disc featuring special longer version of Star Trek the Motion Picture alongside the original 1979 theatrical cut. Housed in deluxe packaging, the set also includes merchandise, reproductions, and a detailed archival booklet, as well as bonus Blu-ray with hours of new and legacy special features. This includes extensive behind-the-scenes footage, deleted scenes, and more. The adventure begins when an unidentified alien intruder destroys the powerful Klingon three cruisers. Captain James T. Kirk boldly returns to the helm of the newly transformed USS Enterprise to take command. This bold adventure launched the longest-running movie franchises of all time and features the cast of the original Star Trek series, with William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, George Takei, Nichelle Nichols, Walter Koenig, James Doohan, and Marjo Barrett. Let me try to get in on this for you guys. See all the little particulars. Anyway, that's the packaging. So why don't we go ahead? I'm going to take it over to the desk where there's more room, and we can check out what's in this, see all the goodies. I'm in a hurry. All right, you get a little bit of a better picture. I'll show you the front. Really nothing on the sides. So, and we've got the back. This is going to be fun. So without further ado, let's get right into it. There we go. All right, space. You can see we've got the same thing on the front cover. And we open it up. Let's see. First thing we see, Star Trek The Motion Picture Director's Edition. This is from Robert Wise. So let's read you what he says. It isn't often that an artist gets to revisit an old work, and ordinarily I wouldn't consider it art, and especially film, which is inherently collaborative medium, is not created in a vacuum. Rather, it results from a combination of forces and personalities coupled with limitations of time, budget, and technology. With an average way that is unique to a moment in time, Gene Roddenberry seemed to understand concepts like this, and he also believed if Star Trek was to be accepted as a mirror of his imagination, that time travel would one day be a reality. My experience in creating the director's edition of Star Trek The Motion Picture has come closer to that reality than I ever imagined. Star Trek was a prestigious film from Paramount, and their support was unswerving. Unfortunately, even they couldn't stop the clock from ticking. And as it began to access the ambitious technological breakthroughs we were attempting, we gradually realized that it was going to be a race. Thanks to the dedicated cast and crew who worked for beyond the call of duty, we survived the chaos of our final weeks, delivered a movie as the date that was promised of December 7th, 1979. We had removed several key dialogue scenes in order to accommodate our incoming effects work, but no time remained to work on properly balancing these two components. Thanks once again to Paramount's support, we have been able to complete this film as a director's edition, in addition to finding new, and I feel, proper editorial balance for the film. We have also completed those effect shots and scenes which we had to abort in 1979, and have given the film a proper final sound mix. It has been an opportunity which I never believed would happen, and for one which I am grateful beyond words. Gene Roddenberry was right. Time travel is possible. And that's from Robert Wise. And you can see a picture of him, and something just peeked out the bottom. You can see, redeem your digital movie 3 easy steps. Instantly stream or download to watch anywhere. Go to ParamountMovies.com and click the redeem code and enter the code below. Code may not be valid after 9/6/2024. And on the back is the same thing that I had just read you from Robert Weiss. All right, so that's the first thing that we find in here. I can't help but notice this wonderful picture of the Enterprise. I had this poster on my room when I was a kid, and I just absolutely loved it. It was on my wall forever. It's got the cutaway of the Enterprise refit. This says 1979 Paramount Pictures, USS Enterprise. And it's all trademark crap. Okay, so let's do a flyby. You can see the saucer section. You can see the bridge on top. You can see the deflector dish on the bottom. The saucer pylon going into the back. You can see the pieces of the ship all the way back to the shuttle bay. The nacelle pylons and back to the nacelles themselves. This is one of the reasons why I wanted the Blu-ray. Even though, I must admit, I don't have a Blu-ray player yet. But that's on our list. But when I saw this, I just had to get for nostalgia. And we don't have the, like I said, we don't have a Blu-ray player. I also don't have this poster anymore. So when I saw this, there's a lot more goodies that are included in the Blu-ray pack that's not included in the DVD. So let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at some of these discs. Let me see if I can get this out. All right. So the first one, we've got the Star Trek The Motion Picture, the Director's Edition, and this is the feature film. And it shows the special features. Nice. And like I said, I'm not going to be able to put video up for you guys because of the copyright crap. But hopefully I can put up stills of everything. Okay, so let's get the second disc. See if I can get that out without making a mess. So this is the second disc. Feature film special features. 4K ultra high definition. All right. And the last disc we have is the Star Trek The Motion Picture, the Director's Edition bonus disc. Nice. Looking forward to watching all these. Okay. And that's everything. You can see they have the kind of cardboard flaps that hold the discs. And that's everything that's in this side of the package. Now we get over to the fun goodies. And let's see. All right, this seems to be so much. Let's start taking it out. The first thing we're going to take out is Star Trek The Motion Picture Archives. Love it. Look at the movie poster. And I've actually got these baseball cards. I'm going to have to dig them out. That'd be a pretty cool video to make for you guys with all my Star Trek cards. You can see the back of the book. United Federation of Planets, and all the stuff from the 70s. Love it. All right, let's open it up. So on the first page, you got an absolutely gorgeous shot of the Enterprise. Illustration. And going on to the first page, you can see the blueprints. And the measurements for the USS Enterprise, or the way that she was eventually going to look for the refit. And you got engineering, antimatter pod. You can see another illustration of what she's going to look coming out of dry dock. And I love the picture. You can see the Enterprise refit model. And you can see the space dock. Nice. I wish that photo was larger. And you can see the absolutely gorgeous finished product of the Enterprise. And you can see the bridge crew. Let's see. We've got Mr. Sulu, Captain Decker. We've got Nurse Chapel, Lieutenant Ilea, Yeoman Rand, Admiral Kirk, Mr. Captain Scott, Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy, Mr. Chekhov, and Lieutenant Uhura. And you can see the when V'ger comes aboard, the brilliance. You can see the security of the Enterprise. And you can see their phasers, the concept illustration, and the finished product. Same thing for the uniforms. You can see the illustrations. And we've got Mr. Scott down in engineering. The camera's going to focus. And we have Mr. Spock. Remember, Mr. Spock was on Vulcan at the time, and he was doing an attempt to complete Caliphate or Calamar. I think it was Calamar that he was trying to finish, which is total logic. And just as he was about to accept the medal commemorating his completion, he couldn't take it. he was called back to the Enterprise, and that's when it was said that his mind was elsewhere and he was not able to complete the task. So there's Leonard Nimoy, and that's him on Vulcan. You could see some of the concepts for the uniforms. More pictures of behind the scenes. You can see Leonard Nimoy having his makeup put on. You can see the behind the scenes, the Vulcans, and nice. I love those pictures. There are really no descriptions of the photographs, so you've got another illustration. You've got the this is actually Lieutenant Ilea, and she had the communication from V'ger, the implant. You could tell that was right in her throat. Going over, you can see V'ger, the actual V'ger set itself. V'ger, of course, being the Voyager probe that had gotten lost from Earth. You can see some of the different concepts. It's really cool. Let's see. This looks like it could be up the inside of the Klingon ships. And that's actually Mark Leonard. Mark Leonard actually played the Romulan commander. We saw him for the first time in the episode Balance of Terror. We would then see Mark Leonard in Journey to Babel, and he was Mr. Spock's father, Ambassador Sarek. We would go on to see him in Star Trek The Next Generation, too, reprising his role as Ambassador Sarek. The movies, we see Ambassador Sarek in Star Trek 3, where he goes searching for Mr. Spock's Katra. We see Mark Leonard a lot. Well, Mark Leonard is actually one of the first people. He actually played the Romulan commander. Then he played the Vulcan, the ambassador. And then he actually played the commanding Klingon officer at the beginning of this film in Star Trek 3. Star Trek The Motion Picture. You can see some of the pictures of him in uniform. I don't know if that's actually Mark Leonard or not. You can see the Klingon Katinga. They had the D7. The last time we had seen the Klingon battlecruiser was the D7 from the original series. And this is the upgrade up to the Katinga class. This is like probably my favorite Klingon ship. Again, you can see the inside of the bridge area. Great picture. Putting on a Klingon makeup. And this is the first time we saw the Klingons look kind of different, you know. In the original series, they had beards and dark hair and a darker complexion, but they still looked relatively humanoid. This is the first time we get to see the Klingons, and they actually start to look different with the ridges. And eventually, we find out where Mr. Worf, when they go back in time in Deep Space Nine, and they're sitting at the space station K7, and I think it was it O'Brien that was wondering why the Klingons looked so different, and Mr. Worf said, "We do not speak of it." So something happened between in the Klingon Empire where they actually branched off or stayed more humanoid, and you can see that, if I'm not mistaken, in Enterprise, Star Trek Enterprise. You can see the Klingons look more like they did in the original series. You see a gorgeous picture of the filming model. I'd love to have that model. Illustration of the bridge. Beautiful. And you can see the concept depiction of Vulcan. You can see Mr. Spock. And of course, Vulcan has 2 suns, and they have no moon. You can see the illustrator. Again, I wish they had descriptions for the photographs, but they don't, so we'll have to speculate. You can see some of the smaller crafts. I actually think at the beginning of the film when you see Admiral Kirk come off, I think that's what transports him. It's kind of like a train station. And I was hoping we would get some more pictures of the Enterprise herself. You can see some before and after. And you can see before, and then you can see in 4K. Yeah, that really makes a difference. I just hope it's not computer generated or CGI. And then you can see the 4K edition and what it looked like before. And of course, V'ger in the distance and the 4K edition. And it shows you a beautiful picture of the Enterprise. This is, of course, when she stopped and they're able to actually go out and walk towards V'ger. You can see these are the kind of things that they were able to walk on as they walked down the path. Original wing walk concepts and photography. You can see the smaller set. And some more illustrative art. That's pretty cool. You can see what when the Klingon battle cruisers in V'ger that were destroyed. Of course, the Enterprise doesn't see them. That big door that kind of opens up and closes that Mr. Spock ended up going through. I guess this is one of the concepts of what it would look like. And you can see the futile attempt that the Klingon battle cruisers had, the Katinga class, of firing at V'ger because the photon torpedoes were just absorbed. Is that it? And that's it. So that's the booklet from the Star Trek The Motion Picture Archives. Beautiful. All right, let's put everything on display for you guys. All right, let's go through some of the other goodies. Okay, I'm thinking these are the bumper stickers. 1979. Beam me up, Mr. Spock. You can see the old concept art of the Enterprise, the illustration, Mr. Spock and Captain Kirk. Now these are smaller than actual size, because when I was a kid, I'm probably almost positive that these were larger, but the remakes are smaller, probably because of that reason. They don't want anybody trying to sell these as originals. So let's put one here. And I actually remember this one. Wow, I'm old. I am a Trekkie. Yes, I am. We got Mr. Spock in front of the Enterprise. And we got one for Star Trek The Motion Picture. Is there just one here? Yep. I love it. We've got the Vulcan hand gesture. We've got the Enterprise illustration. And we've got Mr. Spock. And looks like the last one, Federation vehicle, official use only. Nice. That's when back in the day it seemed like there were like 1 million bumper stickers on certain vehicles. Or I seem to think, I don't remember enough, my parents, when we would go to different places where they actually get a souvenir bumper sticker and put it on the car. I guess that was a thing of the 70s. But this is really cool to have. Love it. Let's see if that'll stay. Okay, so what is this? Star Trek the Motion Picture. Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner as Captain Kirk, and DeForest Kelley as Dr. McCoy from Star Trek the Motion Picture. I wonder if this is actually a photograph. It looks like there's a packet of photographs in here. All right, let's open this up. We got to check this out. And we got to do it without damaging the picture. I do it from the bottom. I think it's time to replace my blade. Okay, let's check these out. So, the first photo we've got is Captain Kirk, or Admiral Kirk, Dr. McCoy, and Mr. Spock. Let's see, the next photo we've got is Commander Spock, First Officer, Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock, in Paramount Pictures, Star Trek the Motion Picture. And let's see. The next one, you guys may or may not remember, when they assemble the crew, and that's when Captain Kirk, or Admiral Kirk, goes in, tells them the threat of V'ger and that the ship must be ready to sail. And the assembly room. I love all the pictures of the cameras. Let's see, and there's one photograph left. You can see that that's Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, and Captain Decker. And believe it or not, Captain Decker was actually the son of Commodore Decker. You may remember him from the original series. Commodore Decker was the captain of the USS Constellation. It ends up getting attacked by the Doomsday Machine. Commodore Decker beams his crew down for safety's sake, but the planet killer actually destroys the planet to consume it for fuel. And he's distraught when Captain Kirk, when a landing party boards the Constellation, they find him. And he ends up going back to the Enterprise. He assumes command, and he eventually rams a shuttlecraft down its throat, but they notice a minute power drop in the Doomsday Machine when it exploded. So Captain Kirk's idea is to take the Constellation and do the same thing, and ultimately that's what destroys it. Anyway, that's his son, Captain Decker. William Shatner, foreground. Captain Kirk with Stephen Collins left and Leonard Nimoy looking on in Paramount Pictures' Star Trek the Motion Picture. And that is the photos. So we get 1, 2, 3. We get 4 photos with it. All right. Looks like we got some stickers here too. Wow, I vaguely remember these. I remember when I was a kid, we went to McDonald's to get the Star Trek Happy Meal after seeing the movie. And maybe that's what I'm confusing the stickers with. First one, we've got Admiral Kirk with the Delta Shield insignia. And we've got Mr. Spock, who wants to live long and prosper. And then we've got him, Mr. Spock, the Delta Shield insignia, the science officer. And then we've got the USS Enterprise herself, the illustration. And then we have just the Vulcan salute. And we've got Mr. Spock, live long and prosper. All right, let's put this over here for now. Let's see, what else we got? We've got a poster. Star Trek, the motion picture. The director's edition. Of course, it didn't say that on the original poster. You can see that absolutely spectacular illustration of the Enterprise. Paramount Pictures presents Gene Roddenberry production of a Robert Weiss film, Star Trek, the motion picture, starring William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, James Doohan, George Takei, Marjo Barrett, Walter Koenig, Nichelle Nichols, Persis Khambatta, she was Ilea, Stephen Collins, that was Captain Decker, music by Jerry Goldsmith. You can see screenplay Harold Livingston, Alan Dean Foster did the story, produced by Gene Roddenberry, directed by Robert Weiss, a Paramount picture, and this was PG. Nice. All right, I think I'm running out of places to put the stuff to show you guys. Let's see if I can put that like that. All right, is that everything that's in the, and that's everything in the folder that's on the left side of the packet. So when you get it, there's a flap that you can read the welcome letter from Robert Weiss. You open it up, we get that iconic picture, a poster from Star Trek, the motion picture with the cutaway Enterprise. And, oh, actually, by the way, you got the 3 discs that are in that section. You can close that up and you can go into the packet on the left side, and that has 4 photographs. It's got the stickers and it's got the 4 bumper stickers. And that is everything that's included in the Star Trek the motion picture, the director's edition. So this was pretty fun. You've got 3 discs. You've got 4 photographs. You've got the archive booklet with the photos. You've got the movie poster. You've got 4 of the reprint bumper stickers, and you've got 6 of the decals or stickers. And when they offer the DVD didn't have all that much. That's why I decided to get the Blu-ray, even though I don't have a Blu-ray player yet, but we will soon. Anyway, my friends, if you were curious about what came in this, you can see the beautiful space on the back. I hope this satisfied your curiosity, and I hope you had as much fun going through this as I had showing it to you. Who knows, maybe we'll do the same thing for Star Trek 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And until my next Star Trek video, I'll talk to you soon. Live long and prosper.